Wow, there's a red fort. Check, there's the red fort down there. Wow, there's so many people here. How are we going to cross the roads?
I don't know, you're just gonna have to find a gap and go.
Woo!
This is so scary.
Go, go, go. Oh, just follow them, follow them. Oh my word.
That is insane. Oh my god. So this here behind me is the Red Fort, and what we're looking at right now is the Lahore Gate. Now if you've actually been following our series, we were actually in Pakistan and we entered the walled city there in Lahore, and they had a gate there called Delhi Gate, and why those names have those names is because they actually face the direction of that city. So this gate is actually facing the direction of Lahore.
Look how impressive this is. It is massive compared to the Delhi Gate in Lahore. The Delhi Gate was quite small, but this is massive. Look at the size of the walls.
I don't think I've ever seen a fort this big, so I'm really so excited to go and explore inside. I feel like it's gonna feel like I'm in an ancient world and surrounded by a castle almost.
Hi, how are you? 2 monument tickets, please. So it seems like they actually have a foreigner queue and then a local queue. So because there's very little foreigners here, we actually get to skip an entire queue, which is great. Thank you. So here we are at the Lahore Gate of the fort. And the closer we get to these walls, the bigger they seem.
They are enormous. Wow, but look at this place.
This is crazy. You can see the different colors, white and red.
So this is actually named the Red Fort because it's painted red, but previously it was actually called Quila-e-Mubarak, meaning blessed fort. I hope I've said that right, but it used to be actually white limestone and it used to chip quite a bit, so then the British decided to paint it red so that you didn't see so much chipping of the paint.
Look at this. That is insanely beautiful and huge. I mean, this is the entrance that we're getting towards the fort, and I can only imagine what lies ahead, because you can actually still see some of the white limestone, and I think they've actually painted it white. Geez, do you see that entrance?
Beautiful. It's
Wow.
just like these arches that just make this whole walkway, and it's lined by these markets.
Wow. I feel like I've entered a kingdom.
I also feel like that. It's like a whole different world within inside
Yeah.
these walls.
So in there you can actually see the normal limestone, as it doesn't look like it's been painted at all. These are some of the buildings that are inside of this fort. And now we're in a courtyard. You can see the gardens, and I mean there's buildings all around. We have where they stayed, there's mosques, there's everything. I mean there you can see the backside of the wall.
From reading a little notice board that was outside of where we've just come out, this is called Chatta Chowk, I think. I'm not too sure of that. I'll have to put that down here below. But it is actually a covered bazaar and was originally a covered bazaar in the Mughal Empire.
So this fort was actually created by a guy called Shah Jahan, which was actually a Mughal emperor. And he built this fort because he moved the capital of India from Agra, where the Taj Mahal is, all the way here to Delhi. And this is why we have the fort.
So this fort actually stands on 256 acres of land. And when you actually look to your left and then to your right, you can't even see one wall and the other. Like, that's how big it is. Like if I look down there, it's like never ending. And then if I turn around and look this way, it's also never ending. This place is massive.
Here we're at the back of the fort, and you can actually see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think there's even a 5th building at the back. Now this one here all the way to the right is actually where all the women used to stay, from what I've read online. The other buildings are a mosque, as you can see by the shape of the dome over there, and then there's another one over there. But it's nice to see how everything is just so spaced out. It's not all closed in like what a castle would be. You know, in a castle you don't have such open lands. Everything's just so open and free. It's actually quite nice.
I can imagine this was its own little city within inside this fort.
Yes, definitely.
I would think the people staying inside this fort would really have minimal reason to actually leave the walls. It would be your own town and community.
I know behind these buildings here, there's actually a river as well, and this place used to have 3 gates. So we came through the Lahore gate. On that side there is the Delhi gate because it faces Delhi, and then behind these buildings was actually called the water gate because there's a river behind this place, and that is where they used to collect their water. But because water levels have gone down, the water is actually quite far from the fort, so it's no longer accessible, but the gate, or the name of the gate, still remains.
But look at these buildings. To imagine that's actually been done all by hand is crazy.
It all has these beautiful patterns and arches like that, all of them. And these huge columns just supporting the limestone above. It's huge. I think over here is also a place where they maybe kept water, or there was something, not entirely sure. But generally when they have these spots here, it's in order to like wash your feet or bathe and that type of stuff. In front of us to this side, oh, they have these little signs that tell you what these buildings actually are. So Leanne reads some of them. But we do try and do some research before coming to places like this, so we kind of understand the whole significance of places like these. And I can only imagine this place in front of me was an entire fountain. Like, check there, here's supposed to be water. I don't see any drainage, so I'm not 100% sure, but it does seem to look like it was one.
So I'm actually reading here that this is actually one of the largest royal apartments, and it's not actually where the women stayed, but rather where they came to cool down on a large summer day. So if you actually come with me, you'll see that there's stairs over here which lead into a basement, and that basement led to a stream. So the ladies would come here on a hot summer's day in order to cool down because the stream would be there and they'd be able to bathe in it. Ooh, almost lost my stepping there. But yeah, pretty cool.